Join in Bharat Supaya of Pixelworks and Venu Mohan of Freshworks in the next Quantify session as they demystify the strategies and analytics for omnichannel B2C marketing campaigns to work for your business.
Right. Good morning, guys, and thank you for tuning in for today's session. So you have seen the topic. We will be discussing omnichannel marketing today. And with us, we have Mr. Venu Mohan from Freshworks. So Venu, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah. So thank you, Inpiraz. It's nice to talk to you today. And thank you, everybody. So myself, Venu Mohan, working as part of Freshworks Solution as a lead solution engineer for CRM and marketing. And yeah, so I'm being with Freshworks for more than 3 years now. It's overall like almost like 9 years in this industry.
All right. And where are you guys based?
So we have around like 14 global offices. Actually, I'm based out of India, from especially Chennai, and we spread across in AU, Australia, Europe, and our headquarters in US, San Mateo, and Singapore. Also, we recently opened our office. We wanted to open our office soon. Yeah.
Oh, nice. All right. Okay. So I'm Inbaraj. I'm from Malaysia, of course, now streaming from Kuala Lumpur. So I run a creative agency called Pixelworks Creative. And we do digital work pretty much, anything from websites, app development to, of course, digital marketing, which is now has become a big part of our services. And yeah, so that's why we're here today, right? To discuss omnichannel marketing, to see, what we can share with the audience. Well, I never claim to be an expert, so hopefully people take it as more of sharing of experience from my side. Because I always believe that when it comes to digital marketing, there's no one template, right? And even different agencies, different marketers have different experiences. Sometimes even when we do the same exact thing, we get different results. So yeah, it's very subjective, what we do in this field. So today I will be sharing hopefully some of my experiences, and I'm sure Venu will be sharing his experiences. So we can learn together. And of course, if the audience has things to share with us, we will also be learning together from you guys as well. Okay, let's start, Venu. So what is your experience with omnichannel marketing, especially in the last few years, right? I mean, things have changed a lot since the whole pandemic started and the landscape has changed. So in the last, let's say, couple of years, what has been your experience with omnichannel marketing?
Yeah, so we also didn't predict these kind of situation. The global gonna face it, right? So we all end up with meeting customers in person, and we try to get into a conversation in offices and so on. So, but this pandemic has drastically changed the business operations and also the human's life as well, right? So, as a software as a service, as Freshworks Solutions, we try to unify the social channels. So nowadays, people are spending majority of times on social media, and whichever the channel it is, it could be like a Facebook or Instagram or maybe a WhatsApp or Line specific to the regions, Viber, across the region wise. So we help them to unify everything under one platform, especially for the marketing business. So the marketing team or the vendors, they doesn't need to depend on different platforms to engage with them, and they won't miss any history of conversation with the customer. And these all will be help us to personalize the content for the respective industry. So the unifying the solution is the main key factor we understand in last couple of years. So we come up with certain solutions to address that pain points actually for the businesses.
All right. And I believe you work with a lot of agencies as well, right? And clients who use your tools to run all these campaigns. I mean, on our side, of course, we use most of the social media platforms. And I think as far as Malaysia is concerned, I think Facebook is still the leader in terms of market share for digital marketing, especially ads. And yeah, we run a lot of campaigns on Facebook, but we also bring in all the other platforms as well, all the popular social media channels. And I think when we say omnichannel marketing, it's not just about social media channels, right? We're also talking about email, we're talking about CRM, we're talking about a lot of other digital tools that kind of brings in everything that we do when we run a campaign, right? So when you work with partners, for example, how do you design like an effective omni-channel marketing campaign or an effective strategy? Is that something you guys discuss with your partners?
Yes. So of course, we will discuss with all this with our partners, agency, and also the direct customers who want to use our solution. So there are multiple factors considered to designing this omni-channel marketing. So one is they have to identify who is their customer. So they have to understand their customer, which are the different sources they use to reach them actually. So once we identify who is our customer database, then we can identify which sources normally works for them. Whether it could be any social media, or it could be an email, or it could be an SMS. So because we cannot restrict, a customer should use only one channel to reach us, right? So they can be familiar with all the channels. So we were in the situation to offer all these different channels under one product. So second point, like we have to identify which is the primary source to give more successful to the business. We cannot do it in an immediate basis. Initially, we try it with all these channels. Then based on the ROI, we were able to identify which is my primary source to target my audience. And third is how we are personalizing the content for the customers. So in order to personalize the content, we have to identify what they are doing it as part of my website. So what are their interests, whether they are interested in product A, product B, or service E. We need to identify them. It's not like sending a email blast to my entire database. It doesn't make sense. Like ideally, it will end up with reducing your domain reputation. You will see less open rates and click rates on the output of the campaigns. So in order to avoid these kind of conflicts, try to understand the customer's behavior when it comes to the service or whatever they want to see from you. Understand them. Based on the understand, segment your audience based on their preference. Once you segment them, personalize the content. So it could be an email, or it could be an SMS, or it could be a WhatsApp, or it could be any social media, doesn't matter. Then once you identify your target audience, personalize the content based on their interest, then only you would able exact output of each and every campaign. So even you can also use multiple channels within the same solution to run a campaign. And if that is a personalized campaign, definitely I would say you will have a good open rates and click rates and conversion rate. Instead of sending a random campaign across all the database, it should be personalized. So these are the three key factors I would consider for any channel campaigns. And the last part, which you can highlight all these three parameters, is which solution offers you to unify this. So we can run a campaign in different channels. That's not a big task. How we unify this, if we unify this, then only we would able to identify the actual ROI. Sources giving a majority of output for your business. So I would also recommend any business or agency, those who are using want to run a successful marketing or omni-channel marketing, try to cover all these 4 parameters that will help you to lead the successful omni-channel marketing for your audience.
Yeah. And the personalization, right? I mean, that's very important because people want to feel special all the time, right? But that's, I mean, to me personally, I also find that a bit challenging in social media because like email is very straightforward. I mean, you can segment email, you can send individual emails, right, to every single customer you have, for example. But on social media, sometimes it might not be that easy. I mean, for ads, different because you get to, set parameters and run different campaigns targeting different audiences. But when you post something organic, for example, if you're putting on your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed, how would you personalize it, to different segments? Is there like any tips on that from your experience? And also another thing, right, related to that, multiple languages, right? Some people I've seen, they post 2 different, captions within the same post, or some people post it separately, right? Like in the morning, they'll post the English caption, and then in the afternoon, it could be a local language. What are your thoughts on that? Have you had any experience with those kind of things with like multiple languages and customization on we're talking about more organic feed, right? Organic social media content.
Yeah, so we are also like a global product solution, like we providing solution across the globe. So we are also multilingual product as well. So we were able to personalize the content based on regional languages and also based on the customer preference as well. So even with respect to any channel, doesn't matter. We give the flexibility to design the content in a way in a native language. It could be like a Chinese or maybe English or any other languages. We were able to bring that dynamic content, and we can trigger the campaigns according to their time zones, and even within the time zone, we would also help them to identify which is the right time you can trigger those campaigns as well, like a send time optimization. So you run a couple of AI and ML capabilities that will assist you which is the right time you can trigger those campaigns, and all those campaigns we will also personalized with each and every audience. If you're sending it for a group of segment, like 1,000 audience in a group, and each one of them will have the personalized content on the respective email template, or it could be a SMS template, or it could be a different other channels also. How this personalized is truly based on their activities. So we will try to monitor their entire activity once they signed up with a solution or a website. We will monitor their website activities, and we will capture all their interest, and we will try to bring all this interest as part of the personalization content. So the total content would be like personalized and designed and appropriate to them. Then only they would end up with get some attention on the subject, email subject, and they will keep opening that message and they will go through it, and they feel that content is makes sense to them. So ideally it win-win for both of sides. So we will also increase the reputation of domain and conversion rate as well. And the customer also feel happy because the content is very personalized to us.
Right. And when it comes to different channels, right? I mean, one of the challenges I have actually is flexibility to experiment. I think if you guys who are watching today, if you come from the agency background, I think you'll understand what I'm saying, right? Not often we get a lot of freedom to experiment, especially when you're running a client campaign for like a corporate client, because most corporate clients, they want everything to be set in stone before we kick off, right? Every platform, the budget allocation for each platform, or which platform we want to use for a particular campaign. We may want to use 3 different social media platforms together with email and other stuff. Everything has to be decided beforehand. So that doesn't allow a lot of room for experimentations, right? Because sometimes I wish I can experiment on 10 different platforms and then look at the data and then decide, okay, which are the best 3 or best 5 that we can use for a particular campaign. But of course, some clients will, but most clients, I think, are not really open to those kind of, freedom, right? Is there anything that we can do to improve the situation, or are there any tools that can help with this, right? For example, as an agency guy, I can tell my client that, okay, let's use this, run this campaign, test multiple platforms, and then based on that, we can decide. Because currently, of course, it's all done pretty manually. Different platforms comes with different, insights, different type of analytics. So you have to kind of manually decide which platform gives you the best returns. So what are your thoughts on this, Venu?
Yeah, of course, as you said, that's truly any customers, they want to give a try before to implement everything in the organization side. They want to do a couple of experiments and see the results. And based on the results, they might also scale that solution across different teams as well. Yes. So we also offer the similar solution, Fresh Marketer, which can also design the campaigns across different channels. You can trigger certain campaigns within your team to see the output, or maybe you can take a small group of your focused audience from your database and you can run a campaign for them. And based on the metrics, you can also decide which channel you can invest more on further campaigns instead of spending your money on across all the channels. Take a trial, take a time, and do an initial try with all the channels. See the output. Based on the output, you can know where you can put your money on different channels, and you can focus on those channels primarily. That is one way. We also not only take only a one-way conversation. What customer asks, we will not deliver that. We also do a consulting approach to, since we were in the industry for quite some time and implemented solution for different verticals, different industries. So we will also share some best practices, what we have did it on healthcare or different industries, what we have implemented this solution. And we will also share that their output as well, how we have transferred from 0 to 50% or 80% of conversion rate. And based on that, they can also have some good idea how they can proceed further. We will also help them accordingly as well, who doesn't have much information to move on how. We will also guide them and consult them. This is the best way you can do it, and give a try. See the result, then you can take your call how to proceed further.
All right. And another challenge, right, when you work with omnichannels, analytics has always been a big challenge, even personally for me, because I mean, there are tools we use where, that can manage multiple platforms, for example, but there's always another platform that is not supported by the tool that we use, right? Any good tips on how we can bring in analytics from multiple platforms, including things like SMS and email, right, into maybe a single platform where now we can look at everything on a single dashboard? Is there such thing, or is there like, anything you can share, any tips or tricks on how we can, do this?
Of course. So that is another key challenge in the market. Everybody knows there are different tools available in the market. You can run a campaign on SMS. You can see a lot of ads in the market as well. They end up in going and paying it. But before paying those customers, just take a look in high level. What are the channels are available within that solution? Whether the solution give you to unify different social channels onto one platform, because it's not like a one-time activity. You have to trigger a campaign and seeing the output. So you have to scale further, right? So based on the output, you can also take some decision-making process, what you can do it. If all this information and campaigns are in siloed tools, like different tools, you're not able to use one system. You will end up with paying multiple systems. It will take your cost. It will also take your time efforts from the team. And also all this data will be fragmented. So you will not have one system in place to see all this information. So ideally, I would say we also offered Fresh Marketer that is unified with all these different channels. It would be like a social chat channels like across the region, SMS, WhatsApp, or social media. You were able to run campaign and you were able to unify it within one dashboard. So this dashboard will clearly give you a picture, gives you majority of open rates, click rates, what is the engagement level between the different channels. So this will help you to take a decision making in a successful manner for upcoming campaigns. So I would prefer like which solution offers a unified tool. That would be a best practice to go ahead with it. So even Freshworks offers a unified, that is a pain point we understand from using different products for Freshworks. So we feel that and we come up with our own solution to address this, like a unified tool across different channels. So that will give more visibility for any agencies and clients, those who are using marketing tools across the channels.
All right. Okay. So, well, if I can summarize today's discussion, right? I mean, time flies really fast. I think we have covered quite a bit of information. Omnichannel marketing, definitely using a third-party tool. I mean, working with different platforms, different tools, you will definitely need like a tool that can bring in everything together. I mean, Venu suggested a lot of cool, features that Freshworks has. So, you guys out there, when you do omnichannel marketing, always do look for a great tool that can bring together, right, all the platforms that are using or different channels and solutions that are using. If you can bring it all together into a dashboard, that'll be the best in terms of executing your campaign and also analytics to monitor your campaign and to make decisions, right? I think that's also a great way to, show to the client data and, what kind of results you're getting, the ROI. And I'm sure that'll help with the budget allocation as well in terms of allocating budget to the different campaigns. Sure. Yeah, I think, and also in terms of other thing is data, right? Data is very important. You need the numbers to, look at how successful your campaigns are and also justify to the clients what you guys are doing. So yeah, a lot of interesting points, Venu. Thank you for sharing. And also, I think you have a masterclass coming up, right? As part of this conference. You want to share a bit about that? Just a quick shout out.
Yeah, so we're also doing a masterclass about it, so you can learn more about the solutions and what are the new functionalities in the current market, which can improve your productivity as well as the team efficiency and also the conversion rate as well. So if you're able to join, like we were able to go through it in detail.
All right, cool. All right, guys, with that, let me wrap up today's session. Thank you so much for joining us. We had a very quick discussion on omnichannel marketing, and Venu will be, of course, available for his masterclass session. And I'll be around here as well. So if you guys want to reach out to me through this event, feel free to, talk to me. I'll be happy to share my experiences as well. So with that, this is me signing off, Inbaraj and Venu Mohan from Freshworks. Thank you, guys, and have a good day.
Business software that's hard to use can make work feel pretty darn frustrating. Because instead of helping you do your job, it feels like it's working against you. But Freshworks makes software that people actually love to use, which means you can stop fighting your software and start working the way you've always imagined. Freshworks, ridiculously easy software for business.